Potential expansion cities for the XFL amid this CFL partnership talk. So while solid news as to what this XFL and CFL collaboration will look like has yet to drop, this partnership has opened up a world of possibilities for both leagues. Amid rumors of large international aspirations, concerns from CFL fans looking to preserve their traditions, and XFL fans very eager to see their teams back on the field, there is a much simpler issue to consider. The CFL has 9 teams. The XFL has 8. So suppose there's nothing wrong with a Super League if they merge, having an odd number of teams, but 18 franchises would seem to be much more solid than 17. Danny Garcia and The Rock have had expansion on their minds ever since they bought the league. And though they, quote, love the XFL with 8 teams, close quote, it appears they're ultimately aiming to adding more down the road. Cities across the country have been gunning for teams of their own, and there are 5 cities in particular which are well positioned to maybe one day boast an XFL franchise. Should the league ownership decide to even out with the CFL, any one of these cities we mention make an excellent destination for the XFL's 9th team. First up, Oakland, California. Oakland just watched their Raiders pack their bags to move to Las Vegas. Seeing your team leave has to be hard for any fan base, especially if they've gone back and forth a couple times. And this city is hungry for some football. With strong traditions, this would be a great venue for an expansion team. If Ring Central Coliseum and the Black Hole could host a football team again, Oakland's fans would likely jump at the opportunity, though they would have to figure out scheduling with the Oakland A's into the springtime. We know this will work. St. Louis and the Battlehawks prove that cities with empty nest syndrome after losing their teams are great markets for the XFL, and Oakland would be a solid bet to build on that fact. Next up, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Philadelphia was one of 21 cities who registered domains for the XFL back in 2018, and they would make a great addition to the league. Another city with rich football history, good TV market. They have a hardcore fan base to support a team. They've been big supporters of other alternate teams over the years, most notably the Philadelphia Soul of the AFL, which was one of their more successful franchises. It seems some of the best venues for teams to play in last spring were soccer stadiums, and Subaru Park is an 18,500 seated nestled right alongside the Delaware River. Birmingham, Alabama. Birmingham City Council actually made a push to get an XFL expansion team last year, and that happened. We talked to them on XFL News Hub, and this would be a natural marriage. Birmingham hosted the Thunderbolts in the original XFL, and though the state has Bama dominated the SEC every fall, they've yet to have a long-term pro team there. Seasons with the Thunderbolts and the AAF's Iron prove they can support a new team, and Legion Field is aptly titled the football capital of the South. It's known for being the home of Alabama Crimson Tide, Auburn Tigers, and the UAB Blazers throughout its history. This venue has hosted pro teams from the XFL, AAF, WFL, AFA, USFL, and WLAF, and even the CFL during their American experiment in the 90s. To permanently call this place home would be a great benchmark for the historic stadium, and Birmingham would welcome a team with open arms. San Diego, California. Yet another growing list of cities who's lost their football team. San Diego supported the Chargers for decades before they hightailed it to Los Angeles. The San Diego fleet of the AAF had the 3rd highest attendance league-wide, and the team there would build on a natural rivalry between the LA Wildcats, especially since LA stole their team. Though I don't sense as much animosity towards the NFL as there was in St. Louis, the loss of the Chargers stung, and they seem ready for a new team to root for. The only potential snag here is that Qualcomm Stadium has been demolished, and the only real option would be to play at SDSU's Aztec Field, which is scheduled to finish construction in 2022. Lastly, Denver, Colorado. If the XFL wants to sell tickets, why not bring a team to a city that has sold out every single Broncos game for the past 51 years? This is a standing record in the NFL today, and there's no greater proof that this city loves its teams. Denver even sold out the stadium in the Kyle Orton years and have continued to do so in 5 straight losing seasons since Peyton Manning retired. That's loyalty. The city even led the USFL in attendance during its inaugural season with the Denver Gold, packing an average of 41,000 fans into Mile High Stadium. Now, an XFL team could possibly set up shop in Empower Field, but if they're looking for a slightly cozier venue, Boulder's Folsom Field would be a great fit with 54,000 seats, or Dick's Sporting Goods Park is another 18,000-seater soccer field that could also be an option. What do you think about these 5 cities? Do you have any more suggestions? Leave us a comment. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel as well if you love hearing more stuff about the XFL.